Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping right into something causing quite a stir in marketing circles, vibe marketing.
Oh.
Now, if that sounds a little out there, just think of it as this big shift happening, how businesses connect with people, and it's all powered by artificial intelligence.
Right.
This isn't just some fuzzy idea. It was really laid out clearly in a really interesting Twitter thread by @Isenberg. He listed 10 key ways AI is basically rewriting the marketing rulebook.
Exactly. And it's such a concise thread, but wow, it packs a punch. It gives a great overview.
Yeah.
We're not just talking small adjustments here. These are like fundamental changes, how strategy happens, how things get done.
Yeah.
AI is driving all of it.
Towards something more efficient, more personal.
Yeah, efficient, definitely personalized, and just, smarter. A smarter way to reach audiences.
Okay, so that's our mission today. We're going to unpack those 10 shifts from the thread, try and figure out what they actually mean. Whether you're, deep in marketing, running a business, or just curious about how tech's changing things, hopefully this deep dive gives you a better handle on what's coming.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get into it. First up, campaign planning. Something totally fundamental.
Yeah, and what's really striking here is the shift. I mean, think about it going from weeks of someone manually building out a marketing calendar.
Oh, yeah. Spreadsheets.
Exactly. To a situation where AI agents can just auto-generate these plans.
Just like that.
Well, not just randomly filling slots, it's more sophisticated. Imagine software looking at all your past campaigns,
Okay.
figuring out the best content mix, predicting the perfect timing, even suggesting the right channels, all on its own.
Wow. Okay, so it's like having this super smart assistant who remembers absolutely everything you've ever done marketing-wise.
Pretty much, yeah. And think about the time that saves.
Oh, huge. Instead of getting stuck in the weeds of scheduling.
Right. You can focus on the bigger picture, the strategy, the creative stuff.
And it's not just faster, is it? It's got to be more precise, using all that data from the get-go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It gives you this strategic edge that was, frankly, impossible before. These AIs are finding patterns in massive amounts of data.
Patterns humans might miss.
Exactly. Predicting what's going to hit home with your audience.
Yeah.
Which actually leads nicely into the second big shift.
Yeah.
Ad testing.
Right. The good old A/B test, which, according to this thread, is starting to look a bit quaint.
Oh. Yeah, maybe a little limited. We're moving towards testing like hundreds of variations all at once, not just A versus B.
Hundreds simultaneously.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. Autonomous optimization. The AI isn't just throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's watching every single variation, analyzing performance in real time, and automatically pushing budget towards what's working, constantly adjusting.
Whoa. Okay, so the potential speed up in finding winning ads, it's not just incremental anymore.
Not at all. It could be exponential. AI might find combinations, angles, visuals,
Yeah.
stuff you'd never even think to test manually.
That makes sense. And figuring out what works so well, that naturally leads to better audience targeting, right? Which is the next point.
Precisely. We're moving beyond those, broad demographic buckets. Age 25, 34, lives in the city, that kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty blunt instruments sometimes.
Exactly. The future, as the thread points out, is hyper-personalized audience cohorts. And the really cool part, AI can spot these groups based on super subtle patterns in data, things a person would likely just skim over.
So, AI could find a group of people who, I don't know, read specific niche blogs late at night and buy a certain kind of artisanal coffee. Things that seem unrelated.
That's the kind of thing, yeah. It connects dots we wouldn't necessarily connect, but it finds these surprisingly cohesive groups you can actually target.
Which means the marketing messages can become incredibly relevant, really speak to someone's specific interest at that moment.
That's the goal. Super relevant messages mean higher impact, better engagement, better results all around.
Okay, that granularity, that level of understanding, it must totally change how you think about creating content, which is the next shift.
It really does. This one's fascinating. The thread suggests the whole bottleneck in marketing is flipping.
How so?
Traditionally, producing enough content was often the struggle, right? Getting stuff written, designed, filmed.
Yeah, the sheer volume.
But now, AI is getting really good at generating content. Articles, social posts, even video scripts. So the bottleneck isn't production anymore.
So what is it then?
It's the strategy, is what you want to say. The core message.
I see. Because how the execution is becoming automated?
Increasingly, yes. So the human focus shifts. Defining the narrative, the brand voice, the overall direction, that becomes critical. The strategic what to say becomes way more important than the how to say it.
So the role of, like, a strategic content lead becomes even more vital. You need that clear vision to steer the AI effectively, make sure it actually sounds like you.
Exactly right. You're guiding the machine. And all this activity, all these campaigns and content pieces, they generate mountains of data, which takes us to the next transformation. Analytics.
Right. No more drowning in dashboards and endless weekly reports. Is that the dream?
That's the vision, yeah. Isenberg talks about autonomous AI agents basically taking over that whole analytical function.
Okay. How would that work?
Imagine these agents constantly monitoring performance across everything, proactively spotting trends, flagging issues, maybe even suggesting adjustments in real time.
So they're not just reporting the numbers, they're interpreting them, finding the significant stuff.
Exactly. Using machine learning to find those statistical bumps or dips that a human analyst waiting through everything might easily miss.
So the human marketer gets promoted from data cruncher to strategic decision maker.
That's a good way to put it. You're not spending hours pulling reports. You're getting insights delivered. Like, hey, this is happening. Maybe we should try this.
Makes sense. You focus shifts from the tactical grind of data gathering to actually using the insights, which naturally affects how you spend your money. Budget allocation, that's next.
Yeah, and this is a big one. The thread predicts the end of those rigid, static, monthly media plans.
Really? How so?
AI agents will dynamically shift budgets between channels, based purely on real-time performance.
So if, say, LinkedIn ads suddenly start performing really well mid-month.
The AI could automatically funnel more budget there instantly. Or if something's tanking, it pulls back.
Wow, that's incredibly agile.
It is much more fluid, much more responsive, leads to way more efficient spending, potentially much higher impact for your dollar.
No more setting it and forgetting it for a month. It's constant optimization.
Exactly. And speaking of staying responsive, let's talk competitive analysis.
Always a tricky one. Keeping tabs on what everyone else is doing.
Incredibly time-consuming for human teams, right? Checking websites, social feeds, ad platforms. It's a huge job. But the thread suggests AI agents can do this continuously, monitoring competitors across all channels, spotting patterns, identifying opportunities, much faster than humans ever could.
Like having your own 24/7 competitive intelligence unit.
Basically, yes.
Got it.
Seeing what trends competitors are jumping on, understanding their strategic shifts almost as they happen.
That gives you a massive advantage in reacting quickly, finding gaps or countering threats.
A huge advantage. And, all these changes, how campaigns are planned, tested, targeted, analyzed, budgeted, it inevitably changes the teams themselves, right? Team structure.
That makes sense. So what's the prediction there? Less specialization.
The idea is a flattening of the traditional hierarchy. Fewer deep specialists in, say, just Facebook ads or just SEO.
Okay, so what becomes more valuable?
Generalists. But specifically, generalists with agent orchestration skills. That's the phrase used.
Agent orchestration skills, meaning?
Meaning the ability to understand, manage, and conduct these different AI systems, like a conductor leading an orchestra.
Ah, okay. Setting the overall strategy and then guiding the AI agents, integrating what they're doing.
Precisely. It's less about being the hands-on expert in the channel and more about being the expert who tells the AI how to win in that channel and how it fits the bigger picture.
Got it. Less tactical execution, more strategic oversight and AI management, which obviously changes the game for marketing careers.
Okay.
That's the next point.
Yeah, the whole path to success looks different. The thread highlights things like systems thinking.
Understanding how all these AI pieces fit and work together.
Exactly. And also prompt engineering, which is basically learning how to talk to AI effectively, how to give it the right instructions to get the marketing results you want.
So knowing the deep technical ins and outs of one platform might become less crucial than being able to think strategically across the whole AI-driven system.
That seems to be the implication. Strategic thinking, big picture view, skillfully using the AI tools, those look like the key skills moving forward. It's a pretty major shift in required talents.
It really is. And when you put all 10 of these shifts together, planning, testing, targeting, content, analytics, budget, competition, teams, careers, it points to a huge change in the fundamental economics of marketing, which is the last point.
Yeah, and this is where the thread makes a really potent comparison.
That's it.
It predicts this widening gap between companies that really lean into these agent marketing networks, these AI systems,
Okay.
and those that don't or are slow to adapt. And it compares it to the divide back in the early 2000s.
You mean between the digital natives and the old school businesses?
Exactly. The ones who got the internet versus the ones who hesitated. That kind of gap.
Wow, that's a strong statement. It suggests it's not just a small advantage.
It suggests it could be a fundamental competitive chasm. Companies mastering this AI-driven vibe marketing could achieve dramatically better efficiency, reach, results, just operate on a different level.
It really drives home that this isn't just about adopting a few new tools. It's a fundamental rethink.
A whole new operating system for marketing almost.
Okay, so just to quickly recap those 10 shifts we talked through, all driven by AI: campaign planning, ad testing, audience targeting, content creation, analytics, budget allocation, competitive analysis, team structure, marketing careers, and finally, the overall marketing economics.
That covers them.
And the big takeaway seems crystal clear. AI isn't just another tool to add to the mix, it's changing the foundations. Strategy, execution, skills, everything.
It really is reshaping the landscape.
So the final thought for everyone listening, maybe start thinking about what this means for you, for your work, for businesses you follow. In a world where AI does more and more of the doing, what does it really mean to be strategic? And maybe the bigger question, where does human creativity fit in? What's our unique input going to be in this increasingly AI-powered marketing future?
Yeah, those are the big questions, aren't they? Definitely a lot to chew on.